Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Living Life at Life U. I am your host, Dr. Veronica Garcia, and today I am joined by a very special student in my heart, Ms. Sarai Camacho. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so excited to have you, and I'm so excited for people to know a little bit more about your story and all the beautiful development and growth that you've done at the university. So I'm so excited.
I'm excited to share.
Let's deep dive into it. You are in the chiropractic program, yeah?
Yes.
Tell me what inspired you to become a chiropractor.
So, you've heard the saying, chiropractic, you don't find chiropractic, it finds you. Mm-hmm. Well, that's exactly how I felt. I had graduated undergrad and I knew that I wanted to serve people. But when I graduated in my degree, I was like, this isn't the way that I really want to do it. And I ended up doing a random job and was transitioning to do something else and found a chiropractic ad to work in an office. So I applied, got accepted somehow. The doc had asked me, do you know anything about chiropractic? I was like, I know nothing. And she found grace and she was like, hired me on. And truly what was impactful for me was seeing the transformation in the patients. Like the doc never said anything to me, hey, you should become a chiropractor or anything. It was really, there was people that would walk in with their lights off and a lot of disease is as how I envisioned it. And then there would be months that pass, weeks that would pass. And it was like a 180. They were happy. They were joyous. Their perspective in the world had changed. And I was like, wow, why would I not want to be part of such an amazing profession that does that? So I told my doc, I was like, hey, I want to go and be a chiropractor, but I know nothing. How do I do that? And she was like, hey, you want to go to a good university? Go to Life University. So I literally just signed up. I never came to the campus. I applied and got accepted. And then when I started classes, like orientation weekend was the first weekend I actually showed up on campus.
Wow. What a walk of faith.
I committed.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my goodness. That just blew my mind. I didn't know that part of your story. And now you are closer towards the end. What quarter are you in?
I'm currently in the 11th quarter.
Double digits.
Yeah, so very close. Next quarter is my last quarter, and then I'm off to peak and then graduation.
Are you planning on? And peak, by the way, the peak is the program that they do where you work pretty much. You do an internship at an office outside on the field and kind of start seeing now that you have that experience from the front desk supportive part, but also to be now involved into the patient's care and development.
Yeah,
it's gonna be such an amazing experience. I'm sure. Are you planning on doing a double peak, which means that she would finish it in just one quarter? Or are you doing a single peak, which means that you're doing it in 6 months?
Yeah. So when I first started school, I was like, I'm just going to do the regular peak, which is the 2 quarters. But as I get closer to the end, I just feel really excited and prepared to really go and serve people. Yeah. So I'm just going to get it done in 1 quarter and just kind of prepare to open my own practice.
I love that. Sarai, you have a beautiful background and a beautiful story. You're not from Georgia. Tell us a little bit of where you're from and how it got you to here to Georgia.
Yeah, so I'm Colombian. I was born in Bogota, Colombia. And when I was younger, my mom ended up moving here to the States. And I was still back home with my family. And I eventually got my green card to come to the States when I was, I think, around the 1st grade, 6, I don't know the exact age. But yeah, so then I came here and learned English, which actually makes me laugh because everybody always says to me, like, hey, you don't have an accent. And I was like, well, I pretty much have been here like a lot of my life. What was cool is my mom would always send us back home. But yeah, just kind of lived in Georgia initially and then moved a lot around in Georgia, ended up in Texas, and just have been through different parts of the country. And then miraculously found myself back in Georgia to go to school here.
I love that. And tell me a little bit about your experience as a student. You are involved in different organizations and different clubs and whatnot. Let's talk about that piece, that engagement piece. What are some of those organizations that you're currently serving and involved in?
Yeah, so I knew early on when I started school that I really wanted to get involved with organizations and really understand what was happening and how I wanted to approach the profession because there's so many ways to get involved. And I was like, okay, let me just try different things. So I first started out with AK. I tried a little bit of applied kinesiology. And I was like, okay, it was cool. It kind of fed a part of me that needed to grow. And then I got really involved with MLS and was on leadership and found a lot of growth opportunities there too, not just in my adjusting, but also in being able to lead people in that way. I also got involved with student ambassadors. So I currently serve as a secretary for student ambassadors and really appreciate that role because Life University has given me so much. And to be able to give back to students that are kind of figuring out, hey, is this a place where I want to be? I'm like, I would love pouring back into that, and just showing them the university through my eyes is a huge thing, and I'm pumped. So those are kind of more of the organizations that I've been involved with. And with MLS, I stepped down off of leadership as I'm beginning to transition to focus forward on, hey, what do I need to do to open up my own practice? But that's a lot.
Important. That's a big piece of growth also as you're redirecting and finding, okay, what's next that allows me to continue propelling and that I need to kind of hyper focus a little bit on, because graduation is a big thing.
Yeah.
It's a really big, exciting thing. And the world is ready for Sarai. Let me tell you, we are ready. We definitely are ready.
I'm pumped. I'm ready to serve for sure.
That's beautiful. Tell me a little bit about now the academic portion, like your growth starting first quarter, where you envision yourself and how it's been changing or growing through.
Yeah. So when I first started the program, I was terrified because it was like this, it felt like a very daunting thing. And, you know, I'm in 11th quarter now, and I still feel that dauntingness of like, wow, I actually went through that. But, you know, you're kind of learning the basic sciences. I personally feel like I learned the body in separate domains, like, hey, you know, this system and this system. And as I kind of went through the program, really realizing, oh, okay, but now this is how they come together, and this is how you can apply it in a clinical setting, and really seeing the pieces come together as a whole, really changing. I was like, oh, okay, this is how the body works, and this is why it does the way it does, and knowing those little systems really helped. So school has been a roller coaster of a journey, but it's been really worth it, and it's changed my perspective, and it's helped me grow from being just a student to knowing that I am a doctor, and when I graduate, I'll be a doctor, and I can help people through their journey of life, and having the confidence to do that.
Yeah, that's such an amazing piece of it, because definitely, and I think that's a big piece that separates us as in chiropractors from a lot of other healthcare providers, which maybe are specialized or more focused in this one system, right? We get to learn and focus and manage all of the systems. And it's a beautiful thing to have those conversations. Yeah. Now, mind you, we do have specialties within chiropractic also, which is important, which I'm like, that's outside of my knowledge. I want to refer you out for this other person that might be able to help you. But to understand and to see looking back, I'm like, oh, I used to have this versus that, and now I can kind of put everything together into a more clinical setting. That definitely just brings me so much joy and happiness, because the people that you're going to serve are going to also see it, and they're going to accept it in such an amazing, graceful way, because you are like that.
Thank you.
So I'm so excited for that. Sarai, tell me a little bit of, if you had to give some advice to maybe someone that's even interested in chiropractic but doesn't really know because they've never been to the school, or they've been into, I may have gone to a chiropractor or know about it from an ad but don't really know what it is. What will be something that you tell to that person that chiropractic is a question mark for them?
That's a really good question. And to be honest, I think I would approach it from the sense of like, hey, well, I can tell you what chiropractic has done for me and the direction and the light that it's been in my life. But I would also kind of urge them to go to a chiropractic office and just shadow. And from being in that space alone, if that's somewhere where that person is called, they'll begin to feel it in their field, because they'll see, this is how you transform people's lives from darkness to light. This is a place that can be done, that we can do that in. And just for them to be around that, I think it's highly valuable. Or to speak to chiropractors that are in the field and on fire for the things that they're doing. Or even, hey, come to Life University and let's check it out together.
Yeah, I love that. I hear that you were recently speaking and part of an engagement of chiropractic and nonetheless, but the country of Cuba. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that experience. What was it? What is it? What happened?
That's funny. Yeah. So I've done a lot of mission work with Chiro Missions. Mm-hmm. It's an organization that I see a lot of value, mm-hmm. and I see their heart for wanting to serve underserved communities in all the different ways. Mm-hmm. And as I know that there is a purpose for that here in the U.S., their heart is in the DR and Haiti. Mm-hmm. And just through the experiences that I've gotten to go serve, I'm like, man, this is a mission. This is something that aligns with me and I want to pour back into. Mm-hmm. So I've done a couple of those and really have gotten great mentorship from Peter Morgan, mm-hmm. which he's the gentleman that leads those. Mm-hmm. And I got a random text a couple months ago. It's like, hey, Sarai, like, I'd love for you to come and speak at my conference in Cuba as like one of the only 2 students that is coming. Like, can you please make that happen? And I looked over at my husband. I was like, I think we're going to Cuba. And he was like, what?
How random.
Super. So we finally came to the decision. He was like, yeah, let's go. So we ended up, preparing mostly because I hadn't heard much about Cuba. Mm-hmm. So just going and speaking. And it was really focused on humanitarianism and chiropractic and how we can grow not just Chiro missions, but other missions, and how we can share that vision with people that are coming up in the profession, people that are in the profession, mm-hmm. and really to be able to sit and have talks and hear talks from doctors that have been in the profession for a long time, that their heart is continuously on fire. As a student, mm-hmm. that was so empowering. Mm-hmm. And also to just be able to talk to them and share my heart and how I have a huge desire for missions. And I want to continue that type of work once I graduate from school. Yeah. It was beautiful to have them encourage me in my path and be like, yes, this is exactly where you need to be. Mm-hmm. It's just such a reassurance, as well as it was really amazing to be in Cuba. Yeah. It was such a different experience. And to share that with the docs, to share that with the students that came with us, it was really, really cool.
How exciting. How amazing to see you grow and to have a little part in this huge piece of chiropractic, because that every single teeny tiny part makes a change and affects change and affects people and affects the world. So thank you for believing in yourself, just stepping into that role and to saying, it's a random text, but yes, let's do it. Let's dive in. Let's dive in head first. And I think that's something that it has definitely set you apart. And ever since you were a student with me in clinic, that very first quarter, it has set you apart from the beginning. And that's why we see you. And I was so excited for this podcast, because it's really refreshing to see someone so dedicated and at the same time so just focused and being able to be as personable and as loving as you always have been. So thank you for stepping into that call. I'm excited to see your growth. I'm excited to see your next steps. I'm excited for the world to get to be served by you and continue to do so. And also you're working Chiro missions and just missions around the world, because I know that speaks to many individuals, those that don't have access to that chiropractor down the road, but to be able to give and provide that. It's amazing. It really is. So.
I really, really appreciate that. I think that's really all doable because of the people that I have been surrounded with, from my clinic docs, from the faculty that have been here, continuously pouring back. Mm-hmm. Like, it really does make a difference. And as a student, I'm super grateful for it. Thank you.
I'm so happy. So happy. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. I value it so much. I value your spirit. So thank you for being here and sharing.
I appreciate that.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode of Living a Life, A Life You. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.